The Mask. You came for the darkest Cartoon Network episodes explained. This is the one where Cartoon Scary drops the mask and domestic abuse walks in wearing it. A stranger arrives at the Bagay farm, whacking Courage with a wash basin and declaring, "All dogs are evil." Her name is Kitty. Her best friend Bunny is trapped in an abusive relationship with Mad Dog, a small-time gangster who threatens to kill them if Kitty ever comes back. The mask is more than a prop. It's how Kitty copes with reality she can't bear to face. The episode builds its dread by keeping the violence human, not supernatural, stalking, intimidation, and the way fear makes people disappear from their own lives. Courage, shaking but stubborn, goes full noir rescuer. He tracks Bunny to Mad Dog's place, thanks to Charlie the mouse, kicks off a high-speed chase, and forces a split-second life-or-death decision on the railroad tracks. Mad Dog gets obliterated by a passing train and survives banged up. Bunny survives because Courage hijacks the car, and Kitty reunites with her on the caboose. Only then does Kitty admit not all dogs are bad. It's a rescue sequence staged like a pulp thriller, which is exactly why it hits harder than any monster of the week. Creator John R. Dilworth later said he could not believe Cartoon Network allowed this episode to be aired, given its frank themes: abuse, control, trauma. The show that usually fights mummies and alien chickens suddenly puts a bruised kind of real-life horror on screen and wins by being kind. No jump scare required. The Mask earns its place on a darkest list because it treats danger like something you might actually meet on a street, in a house, behind a face someone wears to get through the day. Twisted Sister. When you're too tired to finish your chores, maybe don't DIY a sister in the lab. The girls sneak into the professor's setup, swap in everything nice from their own junk drawer: crayons, lizards, flowers, boxing gloves, even a mackerel. Then stage the world's fakest accident and drop in Chemical X. Boom, just like the title sequence, out steps a hulking snaggletooth fourth Powerpuff in purple. She can barely talk, but Bubbles names her Bunny, and for one glorious minute the day off is back on. The plan collapses at the first siren. Bunny hears, "Fight the bad guys and throw them in jail," sees two cops pointing guns at robbers and, connecting the wrong dots, beats the policeman into the pavement before locking them up. Townsville panics. A newscaster calls one of the Powerpuffs muy loco, while prisoners pour into the streets. Back at home, the girls realize their helper has turned public menace. They find Bunny mid-beatdown, tell her she's done bad, and, cruelly, in their exhaustion, tell her she's not cut out to be a Powerpuff Girl. She flees in tears. Instant karma. Every criminal in Townsville dogpiles the trio. From a seaside ledge, Bunny hears her sisters screaming and rockets back like a purple bowling ball, flattening the mob with pure messy heroism. She raises her arms in triumph. "Bunny, do good!" And then the wobble starts. Light leaks through her like a cracked bulb. In a silent flash, she explodes and is gone. All that drifts down is a scrap of her dress. Blossom chokes out the science. Bunny was unstable, broken back into her ingredients, while Bubbles weeps. She was good after all. We were the ones who were bad. The narrator tries to finish his catchphrase through tears and finally sobs, "Go to a commercial." It's the first and final time the day is saved by Powerpuff Bunny. Holly Jolly Secrets. Holiday specials are supposed to be tinsel and cookie crumbs. This one hides a eulogy on VHS. Finn and Jake dig up a box of tapes that Ice King buried at the dump and settle in for a private screening party, only to find home movies that stop being goofy fast. The diaries unwind from awkward vlogs into a confession. Before the crown, before the kidnapping shtick, Ice King was Simon Petrikov, a human antiquarian who put on a magical artifact and watched his sanity and Betty slip out of frame. It's a Christmas episode that quietly turns into an origin tragedy, and that tonal swerve is why it belongs in a darkest lineup. On paper, this was never meant to be that heavy. Cartoon Network asked for a holiday piece. The crew first toyed with a jokey MST3K style special where Finn and Jake riff on old Christmas programs. That mashup would have broken the show's world, so the team pivoted, swapped the found TV specials for Ice King's odd home movies, let Patrick McHale thread Simon's backstory through the tapes, and let Tom Kenny read it like an old-time radio drama. Result: Warm lights, cold truth. The episode still carries holiday trimmings, BMO decoding Gunter's face, penguins dancing, a reused Fry song cut that lands like a lump in the throat, but the heart is Simon talking straight to camera as his handwriting, voice, and mind degrade. Finn and Jake's reactions sell it. Pity replaces punchlines. They hand the tapes back. A villain gets reframed as a patient, and the show never fully goes back from that. When it aired, December 5th, 2011, 2.5M viewers tuned in. Critics called it a disturbingly intimate holiday special, and novelist Lev Grossman singled out its honesty about mental illness. Holly Jolly Secrets proves a kid's show can unwrap grief on a snow day and still feel generous. The lights are twinkly, the story isn't. Only a dream. Sleep is supposed to fix you. Here it turns on you. John D breaks out of Stryker's riot with a shortcut, cranking the Materiopticon to max, and wakes up as Dr. Destiny, a man who can crawl into your head while you're out cold. The League gets the bad news the slow way. One by one, they nod off and fall into tailor-made nightmares. Flash moves so fast the world freezes and he's truly alone. Superman's power spikes until he accidentally obliterates the people he loves. Green Lantern's ring isolates him, language and all, until the energy feels like it's eating him from the inside. Hawkgirl, buried alive, wings bound, her claustrophobia made literal. Batman tries to keep everyone awake, but he's running on fumes. 3 days without sleep, and D is already in the hospital, leaving catatonic bodies behind, including his ex, Penny. John dives into the dreams, talking teammates down by reminding them they still have agency. Flash literally slows his heartbeat to unstick time. Meanwhile, Batman hunts D's old haunts and guesses the obvious. The villain hides where he feels familiar. D gets close enough to invade even a waking mind, and runs into Gotham's pettiest superpower, Frere Jacques. Bruce hums it on loop to jam Destiny's signal, nursery rhyme as mental firewall. D attacks anyway, a syringe in hand. In the scuffle he stabs himself, drops, and the spell starts to unravel. John has freed most of the team, but Hawkgirl's mind fights telepathy longer than the others. When she finally wakes, the League is smiling around her, except Batman, snoring in a chair. Back at Stryker's, D lies catatonic, humming the same tune, trapped in the lullaby that beat him. Endings don't get much bleaker than a villain condemned to his own static dream. Haunted. Ever watch a hero punch a ghost so hard he bruises himself? That's Haunted in one sentence. Slade is gone, but Robin can't let the idea die. He's up at midnight, staring at monitors, coughing on dust from a box of Slade relics, and from the mask he cracked the last time they fought. Then the alarm hits, Cinderblock rampages, and in the rain-soaked woods, Robin sees him. Slade, alive, taunting, promising to split the city with seismic generators in 3 hours. There's a catch. Only Robin can see him. The team starts finding holes where the evidence should be. No generators on the bridge, the park, the pier. Starfire's right beside Robin, can't see Slade at all. He grabs her arm and snaps, and that's when you realize the real fight might be inside his head. When the Titans finally reach him in Slade's old lair, they see Robin getting worked over by nobody. There are no generators. There is no Slade. Cyborg shouts, and Starfire, heartbroken, drops Robin with a starbolt to stop him hurting himself. It's not betrayal, it's triage. Locked to a hospital bed, Robin strains against the straps while Raven dives into his mind. She sees the oath to Batman. The Graysons fall, Slade's face in the ducks, and then feels a punch Robin takes in the real world. If it hurts him, it hurts her. Slade is real to Robin, and the stress is killing him. The twist lands mean and clean. Cyborg uncovers the trick. Dust from Slade's mask carried a hallucinogenic reagent that infiltrated Robin's nervous system. Somebody triggered it from outside the tower. Slade is the evil in the dark corners of Robin's mind, literally. Flip on the lights and the hallucination evaporates. But when the basement goes quiet, the cracked mask's eye glows red. Someone's still out there flipping the switch. Perfect. Perfection doesn't chase courage with claws. It shows up with a ruler and a voice like chalk. After Eustace rips into him for doing everything wrong, a ghostly schoolteacher materializes, seen only by courage, and declares him a disgrace. Her cure is brutal etiquette, balance books up the stairs, recite a tongue twister. The turkey in Albuquerque is positively perky, and build a flawless Eiffel Tower, which she then compares to DeLong's immaculate model just to twist the knife. Night offers no mercy. mercy. Courage pinballs through 5 nightmare vignettes in clashing styles. Paper puppets, stop motion, CG, each whispering the same threat. You're not perfect. The one that tattoos your memory is a blue, deformed figure. Fans argue fetus. The text calls it a bugle thing, peering up and hissing the line, while the sound echoes like it's stuck in your skull. Elsewhere, a Wizard of Oz riff triples his self-doubt. A right now title card lunges at the screen, and a vaudeville bit turns into public humiliation. It's a sampler platter of anxiety dressed as a children's cartoon. The final exam is existential. Draw a perfect 6. Courage invents one, folds the paper, flips it, and reveals a surreal 6 the teacher can't process. She rips up her yardstick, pulls her hair, and literally melts into a puddle while still shrieking about imperfection. Perfection self-destructs. The spell breaks. In the bathroom, a bathtub fish has already offered the thesis in plain English. There's no such thing as perfect, and with your imperfections, you can do anything. Back in the kitchen, even Eustace's broken bugle and Muriel's bubblegum baklava become points of pride. The series signs off with a wink. Tuxedo Courage at dinner, the fish now cooked and flashing a thumbs up, and an off-screen perfect from the vanished teacher. Because acceptance, not flawlessness, is the real finale. Creepy? Absolutely. But the monster here is a word we tell ourselves. Jack and the Haunted House. Jack follows the sound of a crying girl, returns her dropped teddy bear, and winds up at a ruined country house where even the door seems to breathe wrong. Inside, the place answers questions with visions, a family at dinner, a shape that isn't a shadow, rooms that appear furnished and warm, and then, in a blink, rot back into ruin. The girl sits with her parents in a parlor that should not exist. Polite talk curdles, the boy's eyes roll back, foam flecks his mouth, and black vapor leaks from their throats like ink in water. The mask drops, the house is a trap, and something old is still hungry. When it emerges, it doesn't pounce so much as annex. Tendrils rise from the floorboards, swallowing space until there's no house at all. Only blank white void, the bound family, and Jack. He wills his sword to him, cuts free, and carves through the thing that has been nesting in these walls. Snap, the void collapses. Night loosens its grip, the home exhales, and Jack learns the family is alive after all. The predator had been puppeteering them, using the child as bait. He leaves with the quiet gait of someone who fought a memory more than a monster. This entry's darkness isn't blood, it's craft. The score drops to a whisper, footsteps and mothwings do the talking, and backgrounds smear like wet ink. Flashbacks strip to stark, brushy minimalism. The enemy never quips, never names itself, never tips a motive. No AKU here. Just a nameless soul thief that weaponizes politeness and silence. You don't chase this horror, you listen for it breathing between the boards. Change your mind. You want dark on Cartoon Network? Try a finale where the villain weaponizes identity. White Diamond doesn't gloat, she puppets, yanks Steven's friends into smiley, glassy-eyed dolls, and insists he's not Steven at all, just Pink Diamond pretending. When he pushes back, she rips his gem from his body, and the show answers the series' core question with body horror. Pink Steven stands up one way, Human Steven staggers up another, 2 halves, same kid, proof he's more than what the Diamonds say he is. That's the turning point. Reunited, Steven doesn't throw a bigger punch. He hands White a mirror. She's not perfect. She's cruel. And for once, she hears it. The thaw starts. Fusions become rallying cries. Sunstone's PSA swagger. Rainbow 2.0's vaudeville. Obsidian's Forge of a God entrance. Connie charges alongside Steven like a knight with a coffee sword. And the Diamonds help undo their own legacy, healing corruption they caused. It's reconciliation, not erasure. Call it dark, not for carnage, but for the argument it stages. Who gets to define you? White's weapon isn't lasers. It's compliance with a smile, identity polished until it disappears. Steven wins without a knockout. He keeps his name, his shape, his friends, and makes the Empire say it out loud. On a channel famous for monster brawls, the heaviest hit is a kid refusing to be edited. That's our dive into Cartoon Network's darkest corners. No monsters required. Drop your own picks, theories, and scars below. Like, subscribe, and keep the nightlight on. We're not done exploring yet.